was beating him all the time. And then I felt bad, and I said, would you like me to let you be more competitive? And he says, if you ever do that, I will quit. I will walk out of here. He goes, I would rather lose the next 50 games. He actually beat me one game.
I had said to you,
It was a glorious day.
you better let him win or he's not going to want to play with you anymore.
Yeah, so
and
then
you were like,
I suggested that to him,
what?
and he's like, don't let me
I was
win.
like, I would not want to play with you if you just beat me all the time. And
well, I think they say with kids, they have to have a percentage of winning before.
Apparently not with men. Not with.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Not with your male friends. Don't let
what
them
day
win.
is it? Letting go of naivety. Naivety.
This is why we should pre-read
Naivety.
them and practice.
Naivety.
Write out some notes so we can sound
Letting
smart.
go of your navel. Say the word.
Naivety.
Naivety. I was saying it right.
Yeah.
Okay. October the 7th, letting go of naivety. Naivety.
Naivety.
Naivety.
Naive.
Oh, naive. Naivety.
Are you naive?
I don't know. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. Depends. Here we go. Hold on to your cafe. We can be loving, trusting people and still not allow ourselves to be used or abused. We don't have to let people do whatever they want to us. Not all requests are legitimate. Not all requests require a yes. Life may test us. People may seek out our weak spots. We may see a common denominator to the limits that are being tested in our life. If we have a weak spot in one area, we may find ourselves tested repeatedly in that area by family, friends, co-workers, and neighbors. Life, people, our higher power, and the universe may be trying to teach us something specific. When we learn that lesson, we will find that problems with that area dwindle. The boundary has been set. The power has been owned. For now, the lesson has been learned. We may need to be angry with certain people for a while. People who have pushed our tolerance over the edge. That's okay. Soon we can let go of anger and exchange it for gratitude. Well, that's a good exchange. These people have been here to help us learn about what we don't want, what we won't tolerate, and how to own our power. We can thank them for what we have learned. How much are we willing to tolerate? How far shall we let others go with us? How much of our anger and intuition shall we discount? Where are our limits? Do we have any? If we don't, we're in trouble. There are times to not trust others, but instead trust ourselves and set boundaries with those around us. Prayer for today. Today I will be open to a new awareness about the areas where I need healthier boundaries. I will forgo my naive assumption that the other person is always right. I will exchange that view for trusting myself, listening to myself, and setting healthy boundaries. Amen.
I'm very curious to hear your thoughts.
There's a little bit of self in there.
A little bit.
I think that I need to learn to trust God and not myself because I don't trust myself. But then I think setting up boundaries is really good. I think taking responsibility for my own healthiness. But then I think that certain things happen all at the same time. Like, why do I keep getting reeled into defending myself? Or why do I keep getting reeled into helping this type of person? It's like the same thing keeps over and over. And God never tempts us, but he tests us. So what the enemy uses as temptation, God uses as a test, and it can strengthen us. So we have to be aware of what is happening. Why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep falling into this trap? And so that can be a test to strengthen and to see any weak spots. And then I think, like, even with helping people, we can get sucked into fixing, controlling, and unhealthy behaviors and then have them hate us. But then if we set up, this is how we help people, and we have a model or we have a process, then that's what the process is. And you can't and then I have to set the boundary whether we keep meeting. So like when we ran a rehab center, this is what the program is, and this is how we're helping you. If people like, because we're supposed to pass on the message.
Right.
So then how do we do that effectively and efficiently? So lay it out. This is what it is. This is how we move forward. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's interesting how they tied in like naivety with like tolerance and boundaries. I mean, I think that I can feel like I'm being very tolerant of other people sometimes, but I think I'm typically, when I'm feeling like I need to tolerate other people, it's usually because I'm needing to be tolerated myself. So that's a tricky, like when I'm not, like if I'm not certain what boundaries are or how to implement them, or if that's not familiar to me, and then people are doing things that like infringes on my comfort zone per se, and I'm not speaking up, or the opposite, maybe my boundaries isn't even, I don't think the right word, but sometimes what I think of as boundaries or what I'm comfortable with is like way too small, as if I'm content and happy in myself, I can tolerate a lot more, I guess basically is what I'm trying to say. When I'm discontent and unhappy inside me, I can tolerate very little. And so I think it's about the other people, but it's actually about what's going on inside of me.
Not all requests are legitimate, and they don't all require a yes.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like that is a good sentence. That's a good sentence. It's true. But what I was saying is like, if I am feeling like so I took it kind of to the extreme, like to the opposite side of like, if I don't want to let people do anything, like if I'm like irritable and discontent and like don't want people around me at all, and because I kind of keyed in on the word tolerance, because it just like reminded me that when I am not tolerant of other people, or if I have been tolerating like unhealthy behavior or not good stuff, then I have less tolerance for like good stuff.
Well, and I think this is bringing up the emotional, like not being led, like it's speaking to me about not being led by my emotions. And so when people spark things or bring stuff up that cause me to emote at a higher level, then what is that actually telling me? Not to be naive, but then if I'm in a conversation and somebody's like even talking about somebody in a negative way, like why do I continue to listen to it? It's sparking something inside of me.
Right.
Can I say like, well, I feel like we shouldn't be talking about that person, or is this like, because a lot of times where there's gossip, there's this false intimacy, or where there's whining and complaining about how bad my life is. It's just like trying to suck you into this relationship that they just want to puke on you all the time. So then when I get these sparks, can I not be naive and go like, just really what's happening inside of me, and then why is this happening?
My new plant, my tactic.
You have a tactic.
I have a tactic that I've only used twice.
Both on me?
Because I don't encounter lots of other people in conversations very often. But when someone is talking about someone else, I've asked, have you spoken to that person about this? Have you had a conversation with them about it? How can I help you do that? What would you need, to...
Well, and people like to draw you into false intimacy. And so we talk about people, we talk about all of our problems, we're just trying to sling our baggage around to hit other people and then cause resentment, cause obsessive thinking.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that either.
I don't.
Those are not healthy
No.
places to go.
No.
So then how do I be assertive? How do I ascertain my feelings in a healthy way?
Yeah.
To guide a
The
conversation.
word naivety was an interesting...
No, I made it interesting.
I don't know that she really expanded on like what that word really means. What are we being?
I think
of?
it's like that whole I'm unconsciously sleeping
Weak
through
spots.
weak spots,
So when
and not being aware of them.
so not being aware of our weak spots. So what are our weak spots? Gotcha. Oh.
And so then we keep like there's relationships that keep going to that because you're always going to say yes to this, and you're always going to say yes to driving somebody somewhere or getting somebody something that they could do on their own and fixing and controlling. And so why does that keep happening to somebody and it doesn't happen to me? Because there's weak spots there. And so
It's really good.
being open and consciously aware of myself and where I'm weak, then I can be strong because I invite God into it.
It's good.
Good.
I think I have to reread it.
Reread it. Yeah. When I need to reread it too. You can read it to me later.
Okay.
All right. Have a great afternoon on this
It's so gloomy outside.
gloomy day. But it doesn't have to be gloomy inside.
I feel gloomy inside.
This is what they're talking about. Don't be naive to letting the outside control the inside. There, I just summed it all up. All right, everybody. No more gloom. No more doom. The sky is not falling in on your head.
It feels like it.
Okay.